So the Pokemon 30th anniversary is coming up soon next month in February, and I want to talk a little bit about what I want to see, what I'm hoping to see, and what maybe to expect from that direct. Now, what is it I want to expect here from Generation 10? Well, first off, I want some pretty decent Pokemon designs because it seems like they've spent some time on these games. And they're also going to be probably Nintendo Switch 2 exclusives as well. So they have the technology now to have spent more time, money, and effort into these games to make them visually look a lot better. And as for the designs of the Pokemon, I'm hoping that they're not too lazy and that we get some really cool designs, because the past few generations, there have been a few cool designs here and there. Of course, there always is. But there's also been a lot of lazy, not so great designs, or like, for instance, bringing back Mega Evolutions. There are some that were not very great and could have been a bit better. But what I want to see, obviously, is better visuals. I want these games visually to look actually a lot more appealing and less lazy, and for them to just look crisp, look pretty nice, you know, on considering it's going to be on Nintendo Switch 2. I'm really expecting these games to look nice, to where when I look at the water or look at the sky or something, I'm like, that looks pretty nice, you know. So that's something. Another thing, obviously, is the gyms returning. I want the casual 8 gyms again. Just honestly, I really just want them to go back to those roots of the 8 gyms, then the Elite 4 again, because it's been a while since they've done it, like, just kind of classic like in that aspect. But another thing that I really want is for the open world aspect definitely to come back, just like Generation 9, but for it to not be, well, kind of broken. I want it to be a little more lively as well. I would love to see the Pokemon have more personality in the world, because I feel like other than Pokemon, the new Pokemon Snap, I feel like personalities of Pokemon in the mainline games is lacking quite a bit. And maybe I'm asking for too much, because like, I'm not going to be upset or anything if all the Pokemon don't have like a massive personality, because that takes a lot of time and work and stuff. But this is Pokemon we're talking about, so they have the resources and they have the money to be able to make these games more lively. Also, another thing that definitely needs to happen, not like I'm not gonna make a huge deal, but with Scarlet and Violet and with Legends ZA, they had cutscenes, and I think Arceus too. They had cutscenes, and the mouths just move, and there have been no voice acting in them whatsoever. And when they have cutscenes and the mouths are just moving, and they're really good cutscenes, and there's no voice acting, it just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Why would you even bother making cutscenes if you're not going to add voices in there? I just never understood that with Game Freak. So I gotta wonder if they're going to add voice acting. That's something I'm really hoping for with Generation 10, because they still haven't, and they're adding all these cool cutscenes, and I don't see the point in adding cool cutscenes if you're just going to have lips move and there's going to be absolutely no voice acting. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So that right there is a big one, that you don't have to add it for the text or anything. Absolutely not. I only want to see voice acting in the cutscenes themselves. That is something that I feel like would really liven up Pokemon more. It would really get us excited to see that there are voices in the games themselves when there's cutscenes, and it would make us feel more into it, like really in there with it, than when we see cutscenes and there's no voices at all, so we gotta read the text even though they're moving and talking and stuff, and it never really made any sense to me. Now, this one I'm about to ask for is probably way too much for them, but I'm going to ask because it would be awesome if they could add the National Pokédex, to bring back the National Pokédex. It's been way too long. We have not seen it since the 3DS era, and I fully believe it would give us so much more to have that National Dex. You can still add DLC. That's fine. We'll play it as long as the games are good. You know, we'll buy the DLC and play it. But the National Dex hasn't been around in a while, and I think if they really wanted to get people even more excited, I listen to the fans, man. Like, which they never do because they don't care. Like, they're making money anyways off of us, like, regardless. But the National Dex is something that we've been waiting a while for in Pokemon to come back, and I hope that maybe they could. These are just ideas for Generation 10 that I hope are there and are back in some way, shape, or form. I also would like to see, like, kind of like Zelda with, like, dungeons. I'd love to see, like, bigger caves with Pokemon in it that are lively, and some that, like, hide and stuff. There's so much that I want to see, and I'm asking for way too much for Generation 10. But the potential for mainline Pokemon to be really extremely good again is there. It really is, because I feel like the last games that were, like, super good in the mainline Pokemon series was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That's just me being honest. Sun and Moon and and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon they're okay, you know. Switch games, so, you know, they're fun. But like the really good Pokemon games, like I feel like the last ones that were like super crazy good was Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire probably. But whatever. That being said, those are all of like the main things that I really want to see from Pokemon Wind and Waves, if that is the names of them, and I think it probably will be. That's the main stuff I want to see from Generation 10. Now let's move on. So of course there are a few more things that I want to see from this Direct. I'm going to go through these kind of fast since I talked about Generation 10 quite a bit. One of the main things that I want to see that they might show is that Nintendo GameCube Online is getting either Pokemon Coliseum or Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. That would be huge because those games cost a lot of money these days. They cost like over $200 for those games. Thankfully I kept Pokemon XD from like 2019. I got it for like $60 or something before the Pokemon boom like really hit. But those are games that a lot of people haven't got to experience and still haven't because, well, you can't really afford it. It's not worth paying $250 for it. So I think that one of those two games, Coliseum or XD Gale of Darkness, probably will get announced for the Nintendo GameCube Online service at this Pokemon 30th Anniversary Direct. And I think that's a really good idea to add at least one of those for now on there. And you'll get people really excited going back to one of those games because those games are fantastic games on the GameCube. They are not even mainline games, and they are so good, and I highly recommend playing them. Now, there is one other thing that we are 100% seeing, and that's another trailer for Pokepia, the new, like, farming simulator, Animal Crossing Pokemon type simulator game that's coming out here in April, I believe. We're 100% getting another trailer for that, probably one more trailer before the game launches. I believe that's definitely going to be there, and it looks cutesy, you know, but for $70, not really. I'm gonna pass on that price, but to each their own. You know, it looks cool for what it is. Maybe I'd get it on sale down the line, maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, Pokepia. I do think they're going to give us more information on Pokemon TCG, TCG Online, as well as the new 30th anniversary Pokemon card set, as I don't think that's been revealed yet. To my knowledge, I have not seen it at all. Someone told me at my local game store something about that launching at the end of the month, but no, because I would have seen it by now. I seen the next set. They're not launching two sets at the same time. So whatever, I digress. They don't have a set shown yet that has the 30th logo on there. No, I'm pretty positive they don't. I would have seen that by now. Someone would have shown me somewhere, somehow, some way. But I believe that they're going to talk a little bit about the trading cards, and they're going to reveal the 30th anniversary trading cards if they don't before that. I fully believe that they're going to reveal a little bit more with TCG and the 30th anniversary set, and that's going to be really cool to see because I'm all for that. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it like I did 25th, but I definitely want to buy some of those cards, that's for sure. Now, they're probably going to do a couple more with things with like their mobile games and Pokemon Go, yada yada, all that kind of stuff, you know. So I'm not really going to get into those very much because I don't care too much for those. But there is one more other thing that I have to bring up, and that is a collection for the 30th anniversary for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 of Pokemon Generations 1 through 3. At least Generations 1 and 2, but I think they'll do 1 through 3, all the way through the Game Boy era. I think they're going to do a collection. They're not going to add it to Nintendo Switch Online because Game Freak just be Game Freaking. I think that they're going to do Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, and then Silver, Gold, Crystal and Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. I think that all of those are going to be like a $70 collection. Maybe not quite all of them. I don't know. But that would be amazing if they had all of them on a collection for $70, and you could take our $70 because us Pokemon fans, to have all three of those generations, all of the games on one cartridge as a collection, yes, that would be so amazing. And that is something that I think in some kind of way for the 30th anniversary, they are going to reveal some kind of collection of these games coming back. There's no way they're going to put it on Switch Online. If they do, cool. But if they do a collection with a cartridge, you can take my money. I'll get it day one to play these games on Switch again, because they're not easy to find, and I have some of them for sure, but I only have the cartridges, of course, because getting them in box and all that kind of stuff is really, really, really expensive. So that's the last thing that I think that they're not going to reveal that last. They're going to reveal Generation 10 last, but I wanted to talk about that first to get it out of the way. But I think that a collection of Generations 1 through 3 on a little cartridge would be so perfect to get for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. They're probably going to reveal some more like plushies and different things like that as well that are special to the 30th anniversary. Kind of like the Fat Pikachu that's coming, which at the moment is only Japan exclusive, but it's probably going to be coming here, and I definitely want it. But that's really about it to my knowledge from what I can guess that can be shown. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know if there's more things that maybe I missed for Pokemon. Probably a new anime or something, maybe, or something, or a new movie. They might do a remaster of an old movie, remake of an old movie again or something, or a new live action series they'll reveal or something, because there was a rumor with Netflix a while ago they were going to do something new with Pokemon. Who knows? But anyways, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think and what are your thoughts and what else you think they might reveal. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more Nintendo content. And I will see you guys all next time. Peace.